Hello everyone, this is HTSK here, back with some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm action. And I'll introduce the players super quickly, then as per usual, I want to have a nice little chat with all of you. Up in the top right side, it is going to be SpaceWhales, which I am okay with that name. And the fact that he's spawning blue, which is what I would assume the color of a space whale would be. I don't know if there's a book written about space whales, but there definitely should be. So good luck to you, SpaceWhales, in the top right side. And his opponent is, I believe this is Korean, down in the bottom left side. And I tweeted it, and I got multiple tweets in a row that were saying this roughly translates to Heart of the Swarm. So obviously this is either a Smurf account or Blizzard stole this guy's name, because his name is the name of the expansion. So I'm not sure what I'll be calling him. Maybe I'll be calling him HotS. Maybe I'll be calling him Swarm. Maybe Heart of the Swarm. Either way, it is going to be a TvT. Of course, the game is Heart of the Swarm. Now, I want to give a big thanks to Will for sending me the replay. He was watching one of their streams and saw that, hey, this was a good game, got in touch with them, was able to forward the game to me. So thank you to everyone out there who watches the streams, who's able to get those replays. You guys are the best. So big thanks to Will. Round of applause, Will. And I got to be honest, I know I say this quite a bit, but I like to update you guys on exactly how the kind of, I wouldn't say the community, but how the how many replays are out there. Right now it is still fairly few. And honestly, fairly few. That's kind of a weird way of saying that. But anyways, a lot of players, as usual, have been traveling around. MLG was last weekend. There's the Lone Star Clash. There's the WCS coming up very soon. So again, bigger and bigger and bigger tournaments out there that are, you know, the players are preparing for. So it just leaves us kind of following two scenes. We're following the Heart of the Swarm as well as Wings of Liberty. So I tried my best to keep you guys updated on both. Does look like SpaceWhales is going to be going for a barracks inside the main base, but guess what? He's already got gas as well, but also double guess what? So does HotS, man. He is actually going to be proxying. Is this a factory? Is this going to be a proxy factory? Because he's already got the barracks inside the main base. I can't imagine him proxying his second barracks here. And if he hides the SCVs on the gas, he could... What is he doing here? Actually, I'm actually confused. I think what he's trying to do right now is to SpaceWhales. He's trying to... oh my god! It is a proxy factory, and I think this add-on right here is to kind of throw his opponent off, maybe scare SpaceWhales out of the base. But at this point in the game, SpaceWhales has no idea what's actually going to be headed his way. And for him, he's going to be going for some early Reapers here. He also has the double gas, which I honestly have no idea what SpaceWhales is going to do. But I got to say, this game already could be proxy either Widow Mines or Hellions. And we also see, of course, the Reapers being used by both players. Now, the reason I mentioned the Reapers and why that's exciting is because Reapers, now they regenerate HP. They can also spot high ground. You can see right there, you can actually see on the high ground whether or not he's on that level or not. So they basically are a HotS unit at this point just because they work so differently now. And also, if we do see the factory land inside and go for Widow Mines, that is going to be double HotS openings, which has me pretty excited. TvT always seems to be pretty darn interesting. I would say even in, well, not only Brood War, but also regular StarCraft 2, because you just see lots of different builds. Yes, if you got to be scouting around the main base, he does see the double gas, is going to delay the mining here for just a moment. He's hanging out, trying to blend in, but here's the factory right there. Is it going to be spotted? Right now, the answer is no. And what does that mean for SpaceWhales? And look, I can change his color. Red, blue, green, oh yeah, all over the place, man. But anyways, he is not going to spot this right away. The SCV, of course, is not going to scout around where this SCV will see this factory. But do we have any attacks happening down here with these Reapers? Taking a look right now, we do see one kill on this Reaper, so he was able to intercept some stuff. But is he going to be able to do the damage he needs to? Remember, if their opponent does not prepare for Reapers, they can actually just lose outright, because Reapers are so freaking good now. Getting the Marauder, though, is a good start. Mixing in a couple of Marines won't hurt. But, uh-oh, it has been spotted. The attack has been thwarted, but actually hasn't been completely thwarted because this, right now, this Widow Mines is going to march right inside the main base. Not enough energy on the command center to actually scan here. Oh, he's got to be careful. Oh, the SCVs, no! Oh, my God, I almost pooped a little bit. I didn't realize that all those SCVs would survive. But, oh, if one more of those Widow Mines does that again, that's actually going to kill off a lot of those SCVs. They're all so low. And it looks like those SCVs are going to start being repaired here. But this Widow Mine's going to sneak out of here. Will actually be able to burrow in the mineral line. And no, doesn't plant that one down. This guy right here, though, is almost ready. His timer is running out. He is going to be able to kill off at least one more. The SCVs, for the most part, have been repaired there, so you can see he's only able to kill off one more SCV. I think overall he killed 2, but that was almost devastating. We saw the one SCV here who's going to be going around. Ooh, a slight misclick there. Is going to be going around to begin repairing those, and the Widowmine is going to be defending the base from the aggressive Widowmine, so I think he's going to be okay. The factory will be forced to lift off, but what is HotS, what's his backup plan right now? Currently, he's got a Marine, or a couple Marines and one Marauder. He has another Marauder on the way, plus he actually has Marauder Slow. Not an upgrade you see, honestly, that often. Even though it's one of those upgrades that is super cheap, you will see at the highest level of play, players opting not to get it that often. We do have a double command center done for HotS, but we also have the expansion potentially a little bit earlier for SpaceWhales, because he can deny this expansion with Widow Mines. He can deny that expansion with the Reapers, and should be in pretty decent shape here. Yes, he lost a little bit, but at the same time, HotS has lost a lot more. We do have a major attack happening down here with the Reapers, actually doing a Reaper drop there to save those units, and does manage to keep them alive for now. Keep in mind, I also have it set to show the health bars if they've taken damage. So anytime you see a health bar, it's because, well, they took some damage. Now, it does look at the Reapers. Gotta be jumping up here inside the main base. Does load one up, unloads it right there. Some fancy pants micro, but does end up losing one of those Reapers, as if Reapers don't regain health quickly enough. Now they can also be healed by this medevac here, so units lost evening out a little bit. He is going to continue to try and do so, but with the medevac out, there's no way he can really do anything here, and that means that that army is going to have to retreat on through. As the expansion over here just now landing, that means they're finishing up at around the same time. Yes, it's going to be a tiny bit earlier for HotS. Is able to drop that mule a little bit earlier as well, but you know, he wasn't able to securely take that expansion. This is why Widow Mines and Reapers coming on in. The mule gets taken out immediately. That's going to be a lot of resources that he's not able to mine at the early stage of this game, but guess what? Hellions pretty good versus Reapers. A couple units for both players go down. You can see the new medevac death animation there, throwing it into the mineral line. So let's see here. It does look though like HotS is still a little bit behind in that regard. This medevac has escaped. Only one Reaper does remain. I doubt we're going to be seeing too many more Reapers in this series, just because, well, we've seen quite a bit, and they begin losing their effectiveness as the game goes on. Basically, everything except for Marines, Hellions, and Reapers are not going to be taking that much damage from it. So as we start to see more Marauders, we start to see more mech. Or what are they going for? I mean, we do have the one armory on the way here for HotS. We also have double upgrades, even triple upgrades if you include the combat shields for the bio army of SpaceWhales. So looks like he's more reliant on bio, but does have the armory. I'm assuming he's going to be getting that for the 2-2 and 3-3. We also have an armory, though, for HotS. But in addition to that, we also have a third command center. So both players definitely playing this out a lot differently. And so far, I mean, the game has been pretty action-packed. Both players trying to use those new units to get themselves into a creative, but is still in the lead position. And so far, hasn't worked out greatly for either player. I think what we're going to be transitioning into right now is more of a macro style, but we do see HotS already working on his third command center, his third orbital, and he also has enough money to expand once again, should he decide to. He could expand down to the bottom right, try and hide one down there, make it so it's unspottable by his enemy unless he scouts way out of his way. And we do have the +1 mech weapons on the way here for HotS. So he does have the 3 orbitals now. He can continue to drop those mules down at an alarming rate right now. I don't think that SpaceWhales is anywhere near close to that, but he does have 3 reactors going down. That is going to be 6 Marines at a time, which is pretty darn impressive. The SCV has managed to scout down here. Does he decide to ninja an expansion, or exactly how is he going to do this? One Reaper moving on up. Will probably be able to kill this SCV. Decides, though, to evacuate out of there. Doesn't want to end up losing that Reaper. The Marauder and Hellion, yeah, they were a little bit slow to respond, but the fact that his positioning was so good is going to save that turret, is going to save the SCV, and also allows him to secure this third base. And this is going to be giving HotS a huge advantage here, but at the same time, HotS' army is not going to be that powerful for the next couple of minutes. The reason I say that is because when you're reliant on mech, it takes a while to get that mech train rolling, whereas the bio, they can be dropping you all sorts of different ways at this stage of the game. Look, we got the 3 medevacs out. We got more medevacs on the way. We have Marines in huge numbers. +2/+2 is on the way. So this is going to be an advantage in the mid-game, but can he make it work in the late game? Basically, it's going to come down to what is HotS' defense moving forward here, and I'm actually kind of curious to see exactly how he manages to pull this off. The army is going to be moving out here for a little bit. Is he actually going to be aggressive with this? It remains to be seen. He does have 7 Marines at the same time. The Reaper finally getting taken out there, trying to kill off some of these Hellions, but at this point in the game is unable to do that, and I think that's going to be the last Reaper we see for today. But we do see the medevac's going to be moving out. Decides to drop on the high ground. That's kind of a ridiculous drop there, as he just was a short duration flight there, and will go ahead and potentially attack into this. But if he charges in there, he's just going to straight up lose this army. That's a terrible, terrible idea. There's the scan right there revealing just how terrible an idea that is. I think all these units underneath should just wave, because if they run into that, that is not going to be good news. What is going to be good news, though, is if he gets into the main base undetected. There is one missile turret here. It is absorbing a lot of the damage, but that's not the medevac with units inside, so every single unit will be able to unload, and will be able to also kill this missile turret before the medevac goes down. The medevac surviving with only 2 HP. That is going to be a huge boost to him here, as he is cleaning up a lot of these SCVs there at the stem and running towards those workers. Actually, will be able to clean up the majority of these. This drop doing a ridiculous amount of damage. At the same time, there's a drop over here that is getting denied. The Viking able to kill off that medevac, leaving those units completely defenseless now. This drop lot has done lots of damage. We are starting to see HotS get a lot more command centers. He's got 2 command centers on the way. 33 workers killed off, though, by SpaceWhales. That drop definitely doing lots and lots of damage. There's another drop over here on the right side. This is the downside of mech, is that it is so slow. It's difficult to protect these locations all at once. Siege Tank's trying to get in position here, but so many SCVs are going to be going down here, and it does look like the Siege Tank's finally in position. Marines do run up. They're getting taken out if they're not careful, and they are careful here, so the majority of these units will survive. But at the same time, there's another attack over here working down this wall in, and I'm kind of curious on the units to have 45 SCVs to 55 SCVs, so even though he's killed like 20 SCVs, he's only ahead by 10, and considering the SCV production right now is 3 at a time for HotS, I think this is actually recoverable, but I don't know how long he can hold on here. As another drop inside the main base, going to be killing SCV after SCV. So much economic damage being dealt here, but HotS has managed to hang on, but he's just lost a lot of workers. 52 workers killed. Oh my god, even going for the armory right now. Got to be delaying those upgrades as long as you possibly can. The Viking will be able to take out the medevac here for sure, but the Marines not going down without a fight. Able to kill off 1 more siege tank, and oh, not that last one. Very low on HP, though. Only 6 HP remains there. So that definitely is going to be favoring SpaceWhales, but you know, at this point in the game, he did take a lot of damage on his army. He's just now getting his 3rd base up when his opponent has had it for quite some time. And, you know, he's still kind of stuck on this late game or earlier game tech where he is going for Masked Marine with a bunch of medevacs. So what can he do to spice up this unit composition? Looks like he's going to be going for siege tanks here with siege mode. Going to be wrapping that up right now, and I think that's actually the smart choice. But I wouldn't count HotS out yet. Yes, he is behind. Yes, he's lost a ridiculous amount more, but he's got the 3 command centers. He's got one down the bottom right side, which is actually hidden right now. So every second that goes by, this is not taken out. It's actually him clawing his way back into this game. And I think it's something that we have to remember here, is that he can produce a lot of SCVs at a time if he decides to. Right now, he is going to be going for 2 at a time. Unfortunately for him, he does have a bad rally point inside the main base when he should be rallying to this 3rd. The natural is relatively saturated. Could use some more workers there. But for right now, it looks like, uh-oh, this army getting dangerously close to the expansion in the bottom right side. Is it going to get spotted, or does this army just give up and try to attack this location down here? Sensor tower is done. The one building I always forget to build anyway will allow him to spot when this army is basically attacking. Having another sensor tower at the bottom right would be huge, but oh, this SCV, you have a bad rally point as well, and may reveal the fact that there is an expansion on the bottom right side. It looks like the medevac's the one who's able to spot that there, but here comes the attack right there, running into the siege tank line. You've got to be careful, though. Not quite sure what these Marines are doing. Looks like they're sacrificing themselves to kill off that watchtower. Look at how far that arm went, man, flying everywhere. And as if the SCV didn't give it away badly enough, the medevac able to spot that bottom right side, which this could spell disaster for him, as he did not decide to go for a planetary. You should try and lift it off, but really, can you even escape that many Marines, especially with the +2? Looking at the units tab here, it is still about even workers. Yes, it is 6 more for SpaceWhales, but the most important thing is that 12 siege tanks for HotS. So as long as he keeps those siege tanks alive, then he will have an advantage in the map control area. But the Marine count is 58 Marines to 0 for his opponent. There's 13 Hellions to try and compensate, and while Hellions do a ridiculous amount of splash damage, getting them into the right position is nearly impossible versus Marines, just because they do so much DPS. But both players have lost severe amounts of units, and we do see SpaceWhales, though, has lost a lot less here. So he is working on 3-3 right now, while it looks like HotS is going to be going for the +2 attack for his vehicles, but again, you never know exactly what's going to happen with mech. It's one of those kind of glass cannon builds where you can do a ton of damage, but if you get out of position for 1 second, your glass cannon is going to shatter all over the ground. Whose idea was it to make a cannon out of glass? I don't know, but for now, he's, like I was saying, he can push out, hitting the good spots, and he is going to be able to secure a fourth before it's fun. He's got to be careful because it's a lot of units, and the Marines, they are pissed. The siege tanks in the back, though, will be able to do lots of splash damage there. Is it enough to even the score? I don't think so. But, you know, he's actually not that far behind. The siege tank count relatively high. He did keep a lot of those tanks alive now. He is at 11 tanks to his opponent's 4. But if he takes an engagement like that again, he will end up losing this game. He does have 4 SCVs at a time being produced. Once again, showing us that he can catch back up in this economy, even though he's lost way more workers, 62 to 2. So he's literally lost 60 more workers. He can actually, you can see, go toe-to-toe in that worker count. So not bad at all, as long as he can maintain his position here at some of these locations. We have 1 tank here, got to be able to get some free shots off. This is actually a beautiful position for this tank. Could actually hold the line by himself with nothing else. It's got to show his opponent where he's at, and it does. SpaceWhales now kind of stuck in the middle of the map here, and these siege tanks going to be shooting the reinforcements. Oh my god, pieces fly so far. For some reason, Marine arms lately are just super, super bouncy. We do have a nuke on the way for SpaceWhales, as if this game wasn't interesting enough. Now we're going to be getting ghosts. Now we're going to be getting ghosts with cloaking and nukes. 3 ghosts on the way at the same time. And you also have to remember that with the production capabilities right now of HotS and his macros looking pretty top-notch. Yes, he's not exactly in the lead right now, but he's still a lot of workers behind. He does have the 2 mules there, though, to help supplement that. Just needs to make sure he's rallying his workers to the right location. Yes, you want to mine this out as quickly as you can, but you also don't want to forget about your other expansions. So we'll see here. Siege takes in a pretty good spot, but guess what? So are the scans. And this is exactly what you have to do with mech, is be very, very cautious when you're trying to move out like this, because if you get out of position, you are going to go down, down, down. And I mean, obviously, you don't actually want to do that in StarCraft 2, or really in any version of StarCraft. Now we do see right here that the siege tank's still in a good spot. They are getting a little low on HP for 2 of these, and is he going to be able to get up enough tanks here to engage this army directly? And one thing about nukes versus mech is you have to siege and unsiege. So if you time everything out incorrectly, then you will get nuked in the face. It does look like a potential base race here, as both players not realizing that they're going to be swapping sides right now. Although it is apparent here as he does scan there and does see exactly what's going to be headed his way. Now you have to remember that HotS is going to have the defending advantage right now because he has a lot of siege tanks, but there's the nuke. Oh god, this could be a glorious, glorious, delicious nuke. Can you feel it? Can you smell it? Can you taste it? Well, guess what? SpaceWhales can, because here it comes. Those tanks are past the point of no return, and they do get taken out. Another nuke got to be going down. Hopefully these tanks learn from their enemies, or from their allies already getting taken out. Oh god. Oh god, you thought it tasted good the first time, but nothing's better than the second. Here it comes, and oh no, he runs into it! Oh my god, he lost every single tank there. I think he's only got 2 left, and this army is going to retreat. HotS actually had the momentum he needed, ended up losing everything to a couple of nukes, and it's one of those things you hate to see it happen, but at the same time, it is like a train wreck, man. You say you don't want to, or you say you want to look away, but you know you don't. You're going to watch that train wreck over and over and over and over. Unfortunately for HotS, man, he was on the receiving end of that. And unfortunately, this is not American football. Being on the receiving end of a touchdown, not good. Yeah, this is StarCraft, man. This is a real sport. Haha! Being on the receiving end of a nuke is not the way to go, so I cannot believe he actually did that much damage with nukes. Oh my god, you can see, I felt like he did like 9,000 damage there, literally. These siege tanks, though, are in a good spot. If he can do lots of free damage here. Look at the arms flying everywhere. There's so many arms. So many arms going down. This base is not going to happen here. The siege tank positioning for both players is good, but unfortunately that means that SpaceWhales is going to be in the lead. He has got to try and break right here, though. If he can siege up, might actually be able to do it, because remember, his siege tanks do have +3 attack and actually could do substantial damage. Is it enough, though, to have pushed this army all the way back home? Looks like the answer is no, but regardless, maybe evening that up a little bit. I think he did. I don't really want to do math on air because I think I messed up adding like 12 plus 10 or something the other day. So I give up on that, and a couple more units got to go down. Here comes the medevac. It's going to drop on top of these tanks. The ghosts are in position. Do they have nukes? Not quite yet. 2 more nukes are on the way, though. He's actually focusing them down, and I think these ghosts will get taken out with the scan, but is there enough energy there? Oh, 1 ghost gets taken out. He explodes all over the place. But this Ghost right here is still sniping on these tanks. Not literally using snipe though, because you only use it on bio. But, you know, the damage these guys do will eventually add up. 13 damage normal, but 26 versus light, which means he wants to be killing these SCVs if possible. And he's got to be careful. Oh, a nuke goes down. Can HotS deal with this, or is he going to be the laughing stock of this Ghost right here? Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Here we go. Round number 3. Takes out all those units. Takes out the economy. And unfortunately for HotS, man, he has just not been able to predict where those nukes are going to be. Or perhaps he just doesn't know that the nukes are actually happening. Because it'll show us on the minimap, but it does not show the player who is getting nuked. Oh, my God. I think we're going to see another expansion. No, he finally does manage to get those units out of here. And the siege tank count is looking pretty high, but he is about 60 supply behind, which means the tech of our blue Terran in the top right side, SpaceWhales, is going to be getting lots of tech. I mean, look, he's getting Terran building armor, because why the hell not? And honestly, in this matchup, it's probably the most worthless, because you don't have Zergling counterattacks and things like that, but he might as well. He's got a lot of money to spend. He's getting the high-sec auto-tracking to make his, basically his defensive structure stronger. He's got more and more nukes on the way, even going for the Banshee here. Will manage to kill that off in 2 volleys. And there is an expansion up now in the top left side about to land there, but the Banshees here are able to force this away. I mean, he has to decide, do I want to attack and lose everything, or do I try and get some more air superiority in the later stages of the game? Getting some Thors is a great choice here. If you can supplement these siege tanks, might be able to make it back in this. Although this army, but here comes the siege, and oh my goodness, doing lots of damage there. Could potentially drop these on top of the tanks. Does he decide to? Nope. I think that's a smart choice. Just play it a little bit more patient here. Doesn't need to put the cart before the horse, or count your chickens before they hatch, or whatever saying you want to use here, like it's the 1800s. You definitely don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. Now, we do have the Banshees going to be moving out there, still chasing down these siege tanks. They are going to be getting a lot of kills until these Thors finally arrive. All these units forced to retreat now. So SpaceWhale is definitely in the lead, but at the same time, you can see he just landed this command center because all these units are going in the wrong direction. And there's going to be a nuke right there on the expansion, another one on the low ground, and he's got to realize this is happening, right? I mean, the dots are pretty darn obvious, and if he doesn't, oh, one Ghost goes down. He doesn't realize there's another one. He's trying to get out of there, but he loses even more units to that nuke, and this is one of the nukiest games I think I've played or I've seen in a long time. So that is pretty freaking sweet. We do have Marines and Marauders, +3/+3, and the Banshees don't have any upgrades themselves, but guess what? They don't really need them with so many nukes in the game. I think what we need to see right now, though, out of HotS is trying to secure a 4th base. It's going to be absolutely crucial right now. What is the workers killed count? 111 workers killed by SpaceWhales, and he is definitely way in the lead at this point. I think the Banshees may actually seal the deal right now. Not that I can't blame HotS for trying to stick it out. I mean, you do not want to lose to nukes if you can help it. If you're going to lose, you might as well lose to someone like Stefano, who just plays you straight up and crushes you. But losing in that fashion to nukes, I think this may be it. The siege tank in the wrong spot at the wrong time, and they were unsieged, so it looks like he has ended up leaving the game. So our friend HeartOfTheSwarm getting completely crushed by nukes. And wow, I cannot believe how many different transitions we had in that game. We had mech, we had bio, we had reapers, we had proxy widow mines, we had banshees, even some air control going on, lots of nukes. There was some nukes. Did I mention there was nukes? Because it was awesome. So anyways, this is what I'm looking forward to in HeartOfTheSwarm, is a lot more diverse builds. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time. Did I mention there was a lot of nukes? Because there was a lot of nukes.